Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here doing another action figure re-review. Also apologize if there's noise in the background. My birds are just being chatty. Um, yeah, so I'm doing a re-review on some pretty rare Dragon Ball figures. I just adore these figures. I think the quality and just the way they look are charming and kind of shows the early stages of really super articulated Dragon Ball toys. The beginning of starting to have collectibles like that for the Dragon Ball franchise. I just think it's really charming. I really wish they made more characters. I don't know if this series, didn't do as well. The series has some interesting history behind it, which I'll get into um, as I talk about each figure. So, yes, in total, I think officially there are four. Three were like, you could buy three of them, you could buy at retail, and the fourth one was like was a special edition, which you could only, I think, was only excuse me, you were only able to get like a convention, and they were only made in a limited run. So it's considered incredibly rare, probably one of the rarest Dragon Ball items in Dragon Ball collectible history. But I will talk about that, as we go on in the video. So, what are we talking about today? Let me get all three of them. We are talking about Bandai's Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z's um, full action pose. Yes, I love these figures or these doll figures. They are just so charming and so creative. I mean, so cool looking and um, excuse me. Yeah, I love these. I like I said, I have some interesting. How I got all three of these are kind of interesting, which another reason why I want to talk about them. But as you can see, they're all in Super Saiyan form. We have Gohan, which how he looked during the beginning of the Cell games. Um, Future Trunks, how he looked when he defeated Frieza and King Cold, or Mecha Frieza and King Cold, and Super Saiyan Goku, which I guess you're probably thinking, wait, Goku doesn't wear a tracksuit. um, yeah, well, I got my Goku loose. So when I got him, I actually got him and Gohan by the same person, a YouTuber called JP Toys, who unfortunately, I believe, took a break or retired from YouTube videos. But he was a YouTuber from Japan. He used to do a lot of Dragon Ball collectibles type of reviews and reviews on the SH figure art toys. Um, but he sold me my Goku and my Gohan, so very thankful for that. I got them separately, like yeah. So I got Goku first, and a little while later I got Gohan. So when he sold me Goku, all he had was his pants, his shoes, and that was it. Not his traditional gi or his wristbands or anything like that. So I kind of had to improvise. I do plan to get another Goku. Ironically, I saw a listing of a Goku that was in better condition than mine. He wasn't complete, but he had like his blue tank top or whatever you want to call it. He didn't have his orange tank top over it. Um, but he was more complete than mine. I think the person was selling him for like $30, maybe plus shipping. That was a really good deal. But of course, someone bought it, so I missed out on getting that one. But again, I do plan. Periodically, I will just check and see if there are any new listings for these guys, and I do plan to get another Goku at some point. But for the time being, I just, like I said, just improvised and try to make him look presentable. Um, you see, I stapled his boots because over time these boots are made of like a plastic material, rubbery material. Over time, I've seen listings where they, split in the back, so I just stapled them. I got some red sewing string or sewing thread and tied the little red pieces around his boots. Um, the best of my ability. So he looks somewhat like how he looked. And as you can see, his pants were torn, or they were deteriorated. So I had sewed this is the side. I had sewed this side to kind of fix it up. So like I said, I did some customization with mine, and I'll show you real quick. Underneath, he is wearing a shirt. Um, let's see. Underneath, he's wearing a black T-shirt that says Figure Toy Company. That's where I got these clothes from. So yeah, just try to dress him up a little bit. Um, I think we did see him wear a tracksuit in Super. I can't remember. But yeah, like I said, so I guess we'll just start with Goku. Again, Goku, a lot of fun, really cool. Again, I hope I can get him and complete, or at least with all his clothing. Usually when you see these guys, um, you just kind of tend to see them loose. On occasion, you will see them with their box and maybe their instruction booklet and all their accessories. And if you do, of course, those tend to go for more. But yeah, so just be on the lookout. But like I said, a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm not going to remove the clothing, but they do have a lot of joints. Take my word for it. See wrist rotation. You see his hand opens up. You can see, some of the joints, or you can see a joint in his hand. His fists can open and close. Neck rotation. Head can go 360, back and forth. Kind of has a little, ab crunch. Knees can go out. Legs, ankles rotation. I don't think he has feet rotation, no, because of the boots. And yeah, I think his waist can go 360. He's like a traditional doll, like those old GI Joe dolls. Um, you know, so a lot of excuse me, a lot of solid articulation. See, you can even get him in the Kamehameha pose. See, so that's really cool. So just imagine him wearing his full gi in this pose. Um, That's really neat. Maybe get a blast effect, energy effect, and wedge it between his hands and make it look like he's doing the Kamehameha. So that's really cool. Like I said, these guys are a lot of fun and, just super posable. I kind of have mine in a fighting pose. Like, I kind of have mine like that. If I have him posed, um, I'll have him standing up straight and I'll have him kind of pose like that in a like a fighting position. So like I said, Goku's a lot of fun. Um, See the face, kind of small. Then you see the hair is really big, but it doesn't bother me. It's a huge shame. Like I said, I don't know if the series did not do well. I don't know what the deal was with this series. It's a huge shame. We didn't get Piccolo, which I could have seen them doing. We didn't get Vegeta. I mean, I don't see Vegeta being hard to do. A couple years ago, when I was getting these figures, I did get the Bandai model kit Vegeta, the old model kit sets. Um, I did get that Vegeta, and because that Vegeta kind of fit in well with these, like, height wise and how it looked. It kind of fit in with these three figures. Unfortunately, he was kind of on the shorter side, but I thought that model kit looked good with the Trunks and the Goku. So unfortunately, I sold that. I feel kind of bad. I did like that model kit. I sold it some years ago, so I don't know. I might buy another one maybe down the road. Um, but yeah, no Piccolo, no Vegeta. It just feels weird to have Goku, Trunks, and Gohan, and no Vegeta. When you think of during that period, you think of the Super Saiyans, you think of Goku, Trunks, Vegeta, and maybe Broly or something. But like I said, huge shame, but Goku is a solid piece. Like I said, these guys can go for all types of prices. I don't remember how much I paid for mine. Maybe like $50, maybe. Um, yeah. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. Oh yeah, real quick. Let's see. What's the date? So on one foot it says Bandai Japan 1991. I'm assuming that's when Goku came out. And on the other foot it's in Japanese. So. And the packaging for these guys were really cool as well. Uh, I will show. Only have packaging for one of them, so I will show him with his arms like that. I will show the packaging when I get to that character. I'll save the best for last, in my opinion. So next we have Gohan, and because this is supposed to be, I guess, Teen Gohan, pre-Teen Gohan, however you want to call it, he is a tad bit shorter than Trunks and Goku, which is fine. Um, Again, I like the cape. I'm glad the cape is in good condition. Of course, it's dirty. I'm sure I could probably wash it off, like with a disinfectant wipe or something. But it's really nice, and he has some information on his as well. It says Bandai Japan, 1992. So again, I'm assuming Goku was made a year earlier. He was the first one, and then Gohan and I believe Trunks came out. Let me see Trunks. Okay, so Trunks. I was looking at Trunks's foot. His says 92 as well. So I'm assuming Goku came out first, and a year later, Gohan and Trunks came out. Cool. Again, same articulation as Goku. Now I have him complete, luckily. Just he doesn't have his box. His articulation's a little bit hindered because of the cape. The cape is removable, easy to remove. So if you want to just have him pose without the cape, you could do that. Let's see. His outfit is a stretchy material. So let's see. So can I have him doing the Kamehameha? Kamehameha! My impression of Gohan. His feet are on ball joints, so you can see easily take his feet off. It's different for Trunks and Goku. Their feet are molded to the body or whatever. So again, solid figure, nice articulation, as you can see. I like the outfit. Like I say, he's just charming. I think I paid like $47 for him. I don't remember. Well, I asked JP if he had this figure. And at the time, I don't think he did. And I think he bought it somewhere. He bought it in an auction or something. And he sold it to me. I can't remember if he reached out to me one day. I can't remember. I just asked him, like, hey, could you see if you could find the full action pose Gohan for me? And I, buy it from you. And he was like, yeah, I'll see what I can do. And luckily, he was able to find it. So I'm grateful for that. Again, love his hair, love his face. I think his face looks a little bit better compared to Trunks and Goku. Like, it looks better proportion than how their faces look on their heads or whatever because of their hair. The Super Saiyan look looks nice. See the back of it. His wristbands, which luckily have not deteriorated. Grateful for that. Like I said, these figures, for the most part, for 20-plus-year-old figures, they're fairly durable. They're fairly durable. But out of all of them, I think Gohan, out of the three of them, I think he might be the rarest because I don't think I've ever seen a listing for him. I have never seen a listing for him. I think I saw, like, what the box and stuff look like through Google Images, but I've never seen a listing for him specifically. But again, Gohan, a lot of fun. Some like trivia. There was, I believe, an official Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. That was like a very rare. Only a few were made. I think they were maybe given out to like people who worked on the anime or one of the animes at the time. I'm not sure. So I don't even know if the Kenshiro figure was even released to the public for retail. If you want to know what that looks like, Tokyo Toy Bastard, I think he changed his name. He's a collector who lives in Japan, and he's done a video on these figures, and he was fortunate enough to get one of the Kenshiros. So if you want to see what that looks like, check out his video. It's very, interesting. He gives all types of history or whatever. I saw a couple, maybe like last year, I saw a listing for, I think it may have been a Frieza in a cooler, maybe, with these body types. And they were not complete. They were like prototypes. So I don't even think they were like full body figures. which just blew my mind. I mean, no one had ever talked about that. I don't even know how many people were aware that there were other prototypes, of other non Saiyan characters. So I think that was really really cool. I would love to have gotten those, but I don't remember how much they were going for, and I probably didn't have the money for it at the time. So I didn't get those. But again, that's just crazy. Like, how many more characters did they plan to make in the style? It's just, oh, excuse me. Wish we could find more information on that. There were also some knockoffs, which I believe the knockoffs are also hard to come by now, for 20 plus year old toys. There was a knockoff of Goku in Super Saiyan form, and there was a knockoff of Goku again in his base form, which so it was just base Goku but with his body type. And yeah, that looked okay. It's knockoffs, so the head and face kind of looked a little iffy. I'm surprised they didn't make a Vegeta. You think that would have been a no-brainer? They would have made a knockoff Vegeta, but yeah. So there's some knockoffs. There's some other rare ones. Real quick, there was a. Some people may not know this. There was a Street Fighter 2 Ryu figure made with this body type, with the cloth clothing and everything. I've been wanting to get that for as long as I've known it existed. So for a couple of years, I hope to get it eventually. Every now and again, there are people who put listings of it on eBay. There are no reviews for it on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, go to Google and type in Bandai Full Action Pose Street Fighter 2, and it should come up. But the Ryu looks really, really cool. I would just love to add him to this little set of figures. But yeah, so as far as other characters, other properties, and other characters and knockoffs, that's all I got for you. So yes, let's move on to my favorite and the one who ended up being my first full action pose figure. Last but not least, we have Trunks. I have him complete. This is actually my second Trunks. My first one was about a couple of years ago, maybe like for $80, maybe. He had his box, but he didn't have like his instruction manual and his stickers, and I know his belt was missing, and like I said, stickers. I think he had the stickers on his sword sheath, but like stickers in other areas he did not have, so he wasn't complete. I bought this from Dragon Ball Toys, or Old Fan, for those who are aware of Dragon Ball collectors like SS Goshen 4. Her and Old Fan, I'm sure there's some others, have been around for like years collecting Dragon Ball toys, being in the Dragon Ball fandom. So she did a review on this figure. This figure you see I'm holding, she did a review on the same figure years ago. You can still, if you look up Dragon Ball Full Action Pose, you'll find it. So I got introduced to this whole series through her, and years later, I would end up buying, because she ended up selling some pieces of her collection on, I forgot the app. I think it was Flickr. I can't remember, or platform, whatever you want to call it. But years later, I would end up buying the same figure that she reviewed that got me into this series, or like not the Dragon Ball series as a whole, but this toy line. So I just think that's really cool. That's that full circle. And I even shared that with her. I chit-chatted with her back and forth when we were discussing payment and all that stuff. And yeah, she was like, oh, that's really cool, or whatever. But yeah, so this Trunks is awesome. Again, same articulation as Goku and Gohan. A lot of fun to pose around, all types of stuff. uh, His sword is pretty big, which I like. I don't know how accurate the sword is. You see the sticker on the sheath. He has a Capsule Corp sticker on his arm. And let's see. Have him hold the sword. And yeah. Here we go. Here he is, holding his sword. So like I said, because of all the neat details about him, I love how his hair looks, his face. He comes with an awesome sword. Um, I personally think he's the best, in my opinion. He just has a lot of playability to him. And yeah, he's a lot of fun. Um, the joints on him are a little bit better than the first one I had. Um, yeah, I just find him really charming. I love this figure. Love this figure. I don't think I could let go of this one. I wouldn't let go of any of them. Now, if I got a better Goku, yeah, I'd probably sell that Goku. But um, like I said, I'm happy to have the whole set, even if only one of them is complete. Um, like I say, he holds the sword decently, which that's nice. Um, let's see. There we go. Like I said, a lot of fun. Fun toy. Like I said, the clothing does make him look a little bulky. Doesn't bother me. Adds to the charm. Like I said, joints are, still relatively stiff, which is great. Let's see. Here is his packaging. Love the box for these figures. Really cool. Again, in Japan, this would have been cool to have seen like in a toy store, a convenience store, a toy shelf. They even have phone numbers that you could call. I guess it's like customer service. I wish I could read what this said. This looks so cool. It's like comic panels. Him powering up. This Frieza, this Mecha Frieza figure, which I don't think was ever, released to the public. I'm not entirely sure. But we see him, getting ready to attack Frieza. Frieza's facial reaction. And he chops him in half, like in the anime. It's clean. Of course, my box is beat up. I wish I knew how much these went for back then. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so let's say mine comes with this instruction booklet. Excuse me, showing you how to put the clothes on. Oh, that's really neat. The illustration for him looks nice too. So I really dig that. Here's the sticker sheet, which I kind of torn, unfortunately. But I'm keeping this as well. Collectible. So I think that's it. Yeah, the instruction manual says 1992. So I believe this, yeah, I think that's it. Here's the side. See this illustration of him, which looks like it was taken from Super Android 13. Illustration of him right here. Another illustration of him on the top. And illustration, some of the stuff on here. Ignore that if you heard it. I apologize. And here is the Toei sticker. So I don't know if it's like 20. It has 24 on it. So I don't know if Toei, the company, was 24 years old by this point. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that's everything. All the information I wanted to give. Like I said, there were a few figures made that weren't Dragon Ball, like Kenshiro and Ryu. Like I said, I saw the prototypes. Excuse me, of Frieza and Cooler, I think, which would have been amazing. A shame we never got a Piccolo or Vegeta. So yeah, that's a huge shame. But I'm glad with what we did get. Oh yeah, I forgot. Goku. There was a Yard Rad version. That's the version I mentioned earlier, which was an exclusive. Yard Rad Goku. So for years, Dragon Ball fans all throughout the fandom and the Dragon Ball collector world. Oh goodness. I apologize. I apologize if you hear that. My brother's being a brat. But anyway, yes, so in the Dragon Ball fandom, there was, for years, there was a hearsay that there was a, oh, my brain is scrambled right now. There was an exclusive full action pose Goku in his Yard Rad outfit. So when he came back from planet Yard Rad, where he learned the instant transmission, when he came back to Earth and, met Trunks for the first time, we got a figure of that. And for years, people, all we had was a prototype image. We believed that there was a convention, maybe like in China or something, and there was only a selected amount that were made, and that was the only way you could get it, so it wasn't like a mainstream thing. And yeah, so, but we found out a couple years ago that it existed. There was someone, they existed. Don't know how many there were. Don't know how easily or how difficultly attainable it is now. But there was someone who got the Yard Rat Goku, and they posted pictures, on the Dragon Ball forum and all that stuff. So yeah, we now know the legend is true. There was a Yard Rad full action pose Goku. Again, I would love to have that, but again, we don't know. You don't know how easy it would be to get one of those. But yeah, that's it for this video. I will be out of town as of next week visiting family. So if I happen to maybe buy something while I'm away, maybe I might review that, or, whatever. Story time, TikToks, all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys. One more thing I wanted to mention before I end off the video. When I mentioned the Ryu figure, on the packaging for the Ryu, there was, we saw illustrations of him fighting Ken and Guile, and they were actual, full figures. But to my knowledge, we never got a Guile or a Ken in that line. So it really, again, bums me out. Like, holy crap, we could have got a Ken or a Guile figure in this line. Just makes me wonder, excuse me, was this series not successful? Or, why weren't more characters made with these figure type, with these body types? But I want to add that little piece of trivia. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.